Welcome to the Star Citizen Speed Feed. I'm your host, LeafX, and every Saturday at noon Eastern Time, I've got your Star Citizen news recap. Today we're going over VR, large language models, Ship Showdown, and food. There are, of course, timestamps for each section if you want to skip ahead. We're going to start off with the small things. A couple of weeks ago, Wikelo had a competition to make some thematic food, and now that everyone's submissions are in, they've released the cookbook. While I'm sure everything tastes great, some of the layouts kind of remind me of Halloween parties where they try to make food look like eyeballs and stuff, and it makes it a little more difficult to eat some of this stuff. But I'm sure overall it all tastes wonderful. While I'm not particularly invested in these kind of things, I do think it's really cool that people with different skill sets and interests get involved and put their craft to work when it comes to Star Citizen. The game's not just about PvP and machinima. Phase 1 of the Ship Showdown has also commenced, so you can submit fan-created art to get your favorite ship in the running, but let's move on to the juicy stuff. A few weeks back, Quantum Vegas 2955 happened, and there were a few speeches given. I recommend checking out the whole talks, as they do have a lot more nuance that I can't really get across in a news video, but I still want to cover a few of the larger topics, specifically VR and LLMs. As we know, VR was actually in the game at one point, and the engine directly supports it, as they've mentioned. Tracy from CIG mentioned that it's just not a priority right now, even though that they want to do it and the engine has support. The reason simply right now is performance, because VR requires rendering the game twice, once for each eye, which would be a massive hit to frame rates. So if you're, as he said, only getting 30 frames, you're now only getting 15 frames. Obviously, optimization has to come first, but he did mention that he's pretty sure tests for VR are going to be happening in the next few months. Next, he was asked about AI and using LLMs for the NPCs in the game to try and create a more immersive world. Obviously, the problem with using LLMs for something like this is you get less of a curated experience, and you might have NPCs wandering off in conversation that don't really make sense to the context around them. You can fix this a few ways by grounding them in documents and lore that they pull from to be able to generate whatever text they're generating. And it could be good in games that are as large as Star Citizen, where the conversations aren't as important. Say, it's not even a part of a mission, it's just, again, an NPC walking on by or talking to another NPC. Well, they confirmed that they're actively doing R&D for AI on dynamic NPC conversations. The biggest hurdle for them is NPCs running on your GPU would use up a lot of memory from your GPU. I'm sure you're not wanting to hand over all that VRAM. They want to get it running on CPUs, which of course is a big technical challenge. If they can crack it, we might see things like a Moby-Glass assistant or a co-pilot, likely similar to a couple tools that already exist like Wingman AI and Voice Attack, where you can use your voice to talk to the game to have actions be performed or have your systems talk back to you. Honestly, I get goosebumps thinking about what it's going to be like experiencing my ship talking to me, telling me about my systems. Hey, there's a problem with the cooler over here. Or, hey, a fire started in this area, while I'm in VR in the ship. I don't know about you, but that's the dream I'm looking for this game. But the fact those things are actively being worked on is a good sign. Past those, we do have a couple more good info drops. But before I get to those, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be away for the Esports World Cup. Usually, I would just skip that week of news, but I'm wondering if we can get that speed feed done while I'm there. Although it won't look like this, and it won't have the same level of editing that you're used to from my videos. So let's try something new, and come with me while I get you used to a different environment.
Okay, I think I'm already burning. I'm not used to being out in the sun. Thankfully, it just went behind some clouds. Let's talk some news. First up is they're talking about putting Spectrum in the game as an overlay, kind of like Steam when you hit Shift Tab to get that overlay over top of it. Obviously, we've all talked about having Spectrum in it, and I'm pretty sure they have before too, but this would be massive for integrating that social experience that right now, frankly, is mostly just the extreme tryhards of Star Citizen hanging out on Spectrum. I mean, I only go there for the news, but I do not participate, that's for sure. This would be a really good way of integrating players into Spectrum and getting them utilizing a lot more. I like the idea of an in-universe kind of Reddit or Discord per se. But the biggest thing, of course, is not having to alt-tab if you do want to go check out Spectrum. The next bit of info was on Planet Tech V5, or as we now know it, Genesis. Genesis is going to introduce a whole new slew of Planet Tech that's going to allow them to introduce things like biomes, swamps, your jungles, redwoods, all that kind of stuff. Now, before with techs like this, we've seen them slowly introduced, and we've kind of seen that, I guess, with weather. Tracy did say that it's going to be more of a moment. It's all going to be dumped kind of at once, and they're actually building a planet around this right now. He was a little sly about it, so I'm not sure what planet you think it might be, or whatever you think it is, it's probably not coming for a while. Sean Tracy did make it sound like it was going okay, but it didn't really indicate that it was anywhere near close.
By all indications, it's coming along okay, and there is a specific planet already being worked on with it and for it, which is going to launch at some point in the future.
Yes.
So how do you guys feel about me doing a hotel version of the speed feed when I'm away? Let me know down below. And if you'd like to see behind the scenes of my adventures, feel free to join up on Fourth Wall. That's where I post a lot of exclusive content to my subscribers who support me, and you can also grab some merch there. Everyone that's subscribing is helping me be able to dedicate time to doing these speed feeds weekly. Either way, I just appreciate that you're here and watching. For now, stay safe, be kind, and we'll see you in the verse.